Hello, all. Essential Strong. It's been a little while since I've been on my podcast, but here I am. And I know that I'm going to try to make this into a habit that every month I do at least one episode of my podcast to kind of give out like a message of some sort that's going to lead to something good, something positive, something you can learn from and gain insight. And this message today is about the energy you give off and the energy that you share, not just with yourself, but with people around you. And typically, the way we treat people, the way we view life, the way we talk, the way we think, all plays a role in the energy that we have within our bodies, whether it's negative or positive. And you become what you think, you become how you feel, you become what you do, because it's all connected in some way. And what I'm saying is, if you have negative thoughts and you think of life negatively and you see things in a bad point of view, then you're going to start living negatively. You're going to start complaining a lot more. Not just complaining, honestly, but you might start doing things like crimes. You might start thinking that every relationship you had or have is just fake. And you're going to start breaking people off with really no reason. And you're going to start, disconnecting from the world in a bad way, and you're going to start having habits that, maybe like drugs, maybe being lazy and being unmotivated, and habits that are not so good, because that's what you're thinking. That's how you view life. You feel like that there's no point of life, so why do anything in the first place? But if you think of life in a good way and believe that you live to live, not live to die, then that's when you become more motivated. That's when people want to be around you more. That's when your actions start correlating into how you feel, and things that you do are good, because it's what you think. You're thinking good, you're feeling good, and then you're going to start doing good. And I understand there's times in life where you think that things are going to turn out well, and sometimes they don't. But that doesn't mean it's going to always be that case, and that doesn't mean you should change how you feel and how you do things because of that one experience or a few experiences that you run across. So one thing I want to mention is going to be an example. Have you ever worked at a job and there was always that one person that seems like they always has something to complain about? They always has something going on with their day. They always were mean, or always was the person that gave drama at the workplace, and it can just be more than just a job. It could be a friend group, it could be anything, but it was always that one person that will always have something bad to say and never ever anything good to say. Will always try to not give anyone credit that they deserve, but more so whenever someone messed up, they were always the first person to point it out. Typically, that person is more likely miserable in a sense, because that's how they feel about themselves. A lot of people treat people how they feel naturally. If someone's hurt and if someone's feeling sad and if someone's not happy, they're going to start treating people exactly the way they feel about themselves. But if someone's confident, someone feels good about themselves, someone feels confident, is that the way people view life is going to really push them to where they're going to be in life. If you have motivation and you think that your life is worth living, then you're going to start naturally doing things that correlates to how you feel and what you think. And it's more than just thinking. It's action, and it's emotion, and it's what you say to other people, and the vibes that you give off wherever you go and whoever you interact with. So I'm here to tell you that if you want to succeed, if you want to grow, if you want to be that person that other people want to be around, because that example that I gave of that person that always has something bad to say, they probably don't have many friends. They probably don't have many family members that reach out to them. They probably don't have much success in life. They probably made mistakes that devour them because they let it devour them, instead of trying to seek help, try to vent, try to find something to get whatever's on their chest off. They just decide to let the negativity overgrow them, and that's what they are. And I'm not saying that they can't ever change. People change, and I believe anyone can change for the better if they choose to. But at the moment, that's what those type of people are. So I'm here to say, if you're in a negative spot and you feel negative about life, you can pull yourself out of that. Practice is perfect. It's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight, but I encourage you to find some positive outlet in your life to focus on, to bring out any negative emotion, negative experiences that you may be facing right now, or that you have faced, whether that's seeing a counselor, whether that's talking to your parents, whether that's getting closer to people you know that may not necessarily like you, have much of a relationship, and going out your comfort zone and talking to people that you may not want to reach out to fill that void up and to make the rapport that you want with that other person, or rather that's going to the gym more than once or twice a week, or whatever it is, or rather that's going for an hour walk on your free time. Whatever you do, it's going to correlate with how you feel and what you think at the time that you're doing it. So really, if you want positivity, you got to do things that are positive, and not only do them, but you got to think them. You got to speak them to existence, and it's going to happen more and more as you practice that. So if you want to be that person that people want to be around, that people want to reach out to, that people want to see, you can. Anyone can. Everyone's special in their own way, and everyone's the best, and everyone's a king and a queen. And you can live it. But it has to start somewhere. And I encourage you that if you haven't started this, that's what I meant to say. You should start this now, today, wherever you are, whoever hears this. Start being that person you want to be, because it's never too late. With all being said, thank you for listening to the podcast. Spread positive energy. You'll get positive energy back. If you give respect, you'll get respect. What you give out is what you'll get in. So always remember that your energy is what determines how people are going to treat you, what determines how life is going to really treat you, honestly, and it's what people really try to look at whenever they examine how you are as a human. If you're motivated, you're happy, or you're always doing your best and you're trying even when you don't want to try, then that's when you get respect. That's when you get success. That's when you get somewhere. But if you're someone that quits and you always have to say something bad, and you're the one that makes the mean jokes and the nasty and vulgar humor, and the one that always points out everyone's mistakes and never really look at the things they've done that was correct and that was positive, then that's when people will walk away. That's when people may start being mean back, and that's when you're not going to really get that far. So always remember that the person you want to be is up to you, because you're in control of your body. No one else but you. There are influences. There are people that influence you to do certain things, but ultimately, you are in control. Never forget that. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day, and I hope that this podcast leaves something good for you and for me. Thank you.